Good morning. I came a little early so I could chit chat. I see y'all are talking about the snow and all that stuff. Good morning, Heidi, Kathy, Cynthia, Lawanda, Mary, Jane, Diane, Brenda. I'm trying to get everybody. Rebecca. Y'all are so sweet. Is that everybody? Y'all been chit chatting. Y'all, I've got to get my glasses. My lenses changed. When I'm looking straight ahead, I can't even. I'm a big blur. But when I go like this, I can see me. But when I'm straight on, I can't see. And my prescription has changed, and I've yet to go to the eye doctor to get all this changed. And I've got to because I can't see. Oh, I just took my glasses off, and I can't read without my glasses. How are y'all this morning? Is good this week. Hang on, let me look. It's going down in the 30s in Alabama. Our weather is so nuts. Let's see. Yeah. It's going to be in the 30s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In the 30s in Alabama. So we're going to freeze our tails off. And I'm thinking in my head, oh gosh, does that mean we're going to have a terrible winter? I'm going to be out there. Hey, but you know what? This year I am prepared for a black ice because I do have cleats now. Y'all sent me cleats. Shane has a pair and I have a pair. Oh, I have to show y'all my new cup while we're waiting for. My son works at Starbucks. And so I get all the cool cups. The only thing I don't like about this is I want to put my coffee in it and it doesn't fit up under the coffee thing. I don't like that. But I'm all about some pink and green. I think it's pretty. I brushed my teeth, and that is Kool-Aid. It tastes terrible. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. Y'all, I don't know. I think I put it on Facebook. Adventures with Me and T. Go subscribe to her YouTube channel because she is. When I view her YouTube channel, it's very soothing. She has a very soothing voice. So if you're like wanting to like chill out, I love watching her videos. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me go find the picture. So Tater Bug and Hey Mickey, my alpacas, and Georgia Lee and Rio, I had them sheared this past spring. And so LaWanda is so talented. She knows how to wash. LaWanda, I don't even know if I'm saying this right. And I don't know if you have a testimony out there on your YouTube channel. If you don't, you should. But I don't know if I'm saying this right, but she used to have an alpaca farm. So she's my alpaca expert. When you get on social media, all the, let's just say alpaca gurus like coming at you, and you're kind of new to alpacas and you're like, okay, there's 45 people telling me 45 different things. I call LaWanda. Because I know she knows. She's very educated when it comes to alpacas, even knowing all the way down to their fiber, their history, their well-being, how to treat them if they're sick, how to take care of them. So she's like my go-to person. Her and also Rock House Alpacas. Those are my two go-to people. Well, when I had the alpacas sheared this spring, in April, all the YouTubers, had that Petals from the Past event. And so I took LaWanda all the fiber from my alpacas, and she has been going through the process. It's a process. She had to wash it, clean it, spin it. And she was like, Judy, what do you want me to make out of your alpaca fiber? Well, in the September event, she had a booth with items. And so Kayla went to the event, and Kayla was showing me what LaWanda had on her booth. And it was these like stuffed animal alpacas and stuffed animal chickens, but it was made out of alpaca wool. And I flipped out. I said, go buy 2 of them. I'll send you the money, because I want, a lot of times, I have a Spanish class that comes, they've been coming every year. And I like to educate about alpacas because they came from Peru. And like, I like to show the kids what all you can make out of what is, let me back up. What do people use alpacas for? What is their purpose? And it's mostly fiber, but back in the day, they used to eat them. But then they learned that they could make more money off their fiber than they could their meat. So they stopped that, and they started, using their fiber to process it. So, or spin it, mill it, whatever. So she has made these chickens. Hang on. Shoot. I can't. Let's see. Can y'all see? All out of that is tater bug. That's tater bugs, and that's Rio's legs. You see the legs, they're lighter, and the cheeks are lighter. That's Rio. And then this, you see how the hair's kind of stringy? That's Hey Mickey, because Hey Mickey is a different type of alpaca than my other ones. So these mean the world to me. Now, this is not a stuffed animal that you probably let your 2-year-old play with, because they're going to be kind of expensive stuffed animals because they're pure fiber. Even she stuffs them with the fiber she can't use to spin. She's amazing. So please, if you are on YouTube, go follow her YouTube channel. It is Adventures with Me and T. And tell her she is absolutely the most amazing person in the whole wide world. And if you are on Facebook, she's on Facebook as well. So she's a really good person. She's one of the most sweetest people I know. And just always, like, anytime I call her, and let's just say I'm excited, like upset or something, she gets me like this. Like, I can be like, oh my God, my alpaca's sick. And she gets me here. And when I talk to her on the phone, because she's so like this, and she brings me to level, and I'm like, oh, I need to calm down. I'm too hyper. Anyway, she's a precious person. Okay, let's get this party started. I have on my dance necklace this morning because, Brenda LaDunn from ABC 3340 will be here at 9:30. So therefore, Judy definitely has to get ready this morning because I'm going to be on camera. It's probably not a good day for filming because yesterday it poured down rain the whole entire day and night. And so everything is a muddy mess. The group home will be here today because she wants to film me with the group home. And I'm just going to pray for the best. Several years ago, Fred Hunter is on Fox 6 News, he came out and filmed, and it was the coldest day of the winter. Like, it literally snowed, and I thought, he's not coming. He was like, oh, I'm coming. And we were out there freezing cold in the snow trying to film. His segment's called Absolutely Alabama, and he goes around to small businesses and like lets people know about the businesses. So he did my farm. Brenda LaDunn has a segment called Alabama Champions, and it's about small businesses that she considers to be a champion. And so she elected my farm. So that's going to be happening today. I'm taking the glasses off. I'm becoming blind. I'm grabbing my Wicked cup. Did y'all take your Celtic salt? Let's take our Celtic salt. Let's gush it down with some good old Kool-Aid. Okay, guys, guess what? Guess what? This weekend, the mail lady came, and Shane was out there talking to the mail lady. And I came up, and he was like, Judy, you're going to be shocked. And I was like, what? And I'm going to show y'all. I got the title to the car with my name on it. So Shane was like, now what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this is the weirdest situation. So if you were not on my live last week, I'm not going through the whole story, but you can watch my live from last week, and I talk about the whole title to the car. But to make a long story short, I sent Larry, I took Larry's, oh shoot, I'm just stuttering. I can't talk. I paid off my stepdad. Now, some people don't know who Larry is. Larry is my stepdad. Larry lives with me. I paid off his car while he was in the nursing home. They never got the check, so I had to go to the bank and do a fraud claim. Then I got a call from Toyota that they found the check, and they sent me the title and told me the car was paid off. So I got the title, and I went and put it in my name and Larry's name. Got the title back this weekend, and now Toyota is telling me that the car's not paid off. It's just been a nightmare. So I told you guys, I said, I'm going to sit still to make sure I get the title. So now I've got the title, and Toyota is almost harassing me because I get an email every single day telling me that Larry is late on his car payment. Okay, so I've just ignored them, and I've sat still because I don't know what to do. And now that I've gotten the title back, I guess because I'm not answering the emails, now they're sending me text messages on my cell phone. And I'm thinking in my head, first of all, I'm not Larry Glasscock, so I don't know why y'all messaging me. But they're driving me crazy. And I did attempt to call them. And I know you guys can relate. I held, and I held, and I held. And I was like, I am not sitting here on this phone for hours waiting for someone to pick up the phone for me to get in an argument with them to tell them, hey, Joker, the car's not even in just Larry's name anymore because you jacklegs sent me the title to the car. I don't know why you're telling me that the car payment's late, but Joker, I was sitting here with the title. Like, what the heck? What the heck? So I don't know if I continue to sit still until this all unfolds. But this is what I feel like. Y'all know that the bank determined it was fraud and sent me the money back. So obviously there's a refund somewhere, right? A refund is due somewhere. But this is what I'm thinking. First of all, it is 2024, almost 2025. No one does business by phone anymore. No one. Simply because there are scammers everywhere. There are scammers that call you and tell you that your car warranty's out. There's scammers that call on the phone and it'll come across, let's say Southeast Toyota, and it's some person in a foreign country trying to get you to pay, say, you know what I mean? You just don't do that in 2024. You don't do that. You don't buy it's almost like going to, Facebook Marketplace. It's almost like you can't buy from Facebook Marketplace anymore because there's scammers out there. It's like, yo, this is 2024. You don't call me on the phone anymore and tell me that my title's no good. You submit it in writing. You mail it to me, because scammers emailing, and I get all the time emails, spam emails constantly. So why, first of all, I hadn't even got an email stating, all I'm getting is that the payment's late. I've not gotten anything in writing from my bank nor Southeast Toyota. So why would I do anything? But this is my biggest fear. Because Shane said this last night. He goes, what you going to do when Brenda LeDunn gets here and the news gets here and then they pull a wrecker in the driveway and repossess the car? And I'm like, Shane, do you think this will happen? And he was like, I don't know, Judy. And I'm like, so then we're like, do we put the car in the garage? I said, I am not living my life like this. I am not about to worry about the car being repossessed, although the check has cleared the bank. I have a front and back of the copy of the check where the check that's sent to them to pay off the car is cleared the bank. And I have the title to the car, and I have a letter from Toyota saying that the car has been paid off. I am not about to sit here and live my life in fear, worrying about the car being repossessed. I'm not doing it. I'm not sitting on the phone for hours trying to figure out Toyota's fraudulent claim. I'm not doing it. That's not my job. Is to run Sneed's farmhouse and take care of Larry. I'm not doing this. So I told Shane, I said, I guess I should continue to sit still and let them figure it out. But then I said, what are we going to do if the car gets repossessed? What are we going to do? I am not getting a fist fight. Okay, not a literal fist fight. I am not getting a fight with everyone. I'm not doing it. So I'm like, if this car is missing, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police, and I'm going to say, because how am I supposed to know who took the car? I'm not sitting on the phone for hours with Toyota. I'm not doing it because obviously they don't know their butt from the hole in the ground. Okay? They sent me a title to the car. And so I told Shane, I said, if this car gets repossessed, or if this car is missing, okay, let's just say, I'm calling the police because I have a title to the car. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling the police, and I'm going to say, some joker has taken my car. The car's in my name and Larry's name. And I'm going to let the police figure it out. And I realize a refund is probably due to somebody, but I don't know who. And then the second thing is, I'm just going to sit and let everybody figure it out. And then they can tell me in writing what to do. But but in my head, when somebody just calls me on the phone and says, yeah, we thought your check was good, but your check hasn't been endorsed, therefore the check is no good. And I'm like, wait a minute. Endorse means that you sign it, not me. So why don't you endorse it and cash the check if you didn't cash it? But my bank is showing me where you cashed it. And this is what I think. This is what your Aunt Judy thinks. I think someone at Toyota has done fraud. I think someone at Toyota has somehow gotten the check, didn't apply it to Larry's account, and took the money. Therefore, Toyota is saying, hey, this check has not cleared the bank. Let's just say. Or no, let's say this. The money, the check has been cashed, but the money wasn't applied to Larry's account. Therefore, Larry's car didn't get paid off. That ain't my problem. That ain't Larry's problem. That's Toyota's problem. If the check has been cashed, but it wasn't applied to Larry's account, that ain't our problem. That's y'all's problem. You have insurance for that. That's the way I look at it. Why the lady called me on the phone and said, we found your check. We've applied it to your dad's account. It was sitting in a hold account. We found the check. This is a phone call on the phone. And I'm like, praise Jesus. What is going on? Praise Jesus. Y'all found the check. Okay. Well, she said, we're going to send you the title and the money's now been applied to your dad's account. Great. Week later, I get the title in the mail. So obviously there's a check there, right? Because they sent me the title. What they did on their end is between them and their insurance company, because I'm not about to get in the middle of a fraudulent employee. That's what you have insurance for. I sent you the money. The check has cleared the bank. I've got a copy of it. But then the confusing part is that my bank sent me the money back. But my bank determined it was fraud. But my bank didn't even send me a letter telling me that they considered it fraud and sent me the money back. The only reason I know that that's happened is because they put the money back in Larry's account. I hadn't even got a letter from my own bank telling me what's going on. But when I called my bank, apparently it's against the law for them to tell me what happened. So they can't tell me what happened. Well, I don't feel all warm and fuzzy inside because I feel like nothing has been in writing. So until I get a certified letter in the mail that this is what has happened, but you can't tell me that car wasn't paid off because Toyota sent me the title. So obviously my car is paid, or Larry's car is paid off, right? Toyota's not that dumb. Toyota's not going to send me a title if the car is not paid off. Let me see what y'all are saying. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know what. My biggest thing is I want to do the right thing. But I mean, obviously, if I have the title and the bank has put the money back in my account, well, that ain't right. I mean, you know what I mean? We don't deserve a paid off car and the money back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I realize there's some type of mess up, but in my brain, this is what I'm thinking is because insurance, there's there's insurance. You know, it's like for example, it's like if you lost your diamond ring. Okay, let's say that you lost your diamond ring and you have insurance on it, and you call the insurance company and you say, my ring has been stolen. And you do a police report and you say your ring is stolen. Okay, and then a month later your insurance company sends you the money for the ring, and you're like, thank goodness, now I can go buy a new ring. Okay, and then 6 months later your husband finds the ring in the sink. Okay, are you calling the insurance money, and you've already went and bought another ring because you lost the ring, you called the insurance company, they sent you the money for the ring, so then you go and you buy yourself a new ring, and then 6 months down the road they find your old ring? Well, you're not going to give the money back to the insurance company because you bought a new ring. And now you're sitting there with your old ring and your new ring, and you're like, oh, now I've got two rings. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm not about to send Toyota this $22,000 if they've done an insurance claim because there's been fraud on their end. I guess Larry just came to the good and got a car and the money. Praise Jesus, because we needed it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But I mean, does that make it right that Larry has a paid off car and the money? I mean, no, it doesn't. But like, that's not Larry's fault. Larry did the right thing, or I did. I went to the bank, got a cashier's check, and paid his car off. I wasn't trying to commit a fraud claim. So, like, that's not Larry's fault. So you see, it's just, you don't feel, but I don't feel all warm and fuzzy inside when Larry has a paid off car and this money's here, but I don't know who deserves the refund. Is it Toyota, even though the check has cleared the bank? Is it Toyota? Oh, well, I'm sorry. Okay, so your employee stole $22,000. Oh, well, okay. Well, let me send you another $22,000 since your employee stole the money, and we'll just steal from Wells Fargo. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know what to do. So, therefore, I'm just going to, I guess, continue to sit still until someone tells me what to do. But why should Judy be the investigator and try to figure it all out? I got enough on my plate to figure out what fraud happened at Toyota. And even to be honest, it's not my place to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I know there's legal things involved, just like there's HIPAA involved with medical stuff, that they can't tell me what's going on. Well, if you can't tell me, how am I supposed to know? If you can't tell me one of your employees stole the checks, well, that ain't Larry's fault. Just like if you lost your ring, you're like sitting here with this $10,000 ring that you have an appraisal for, and you lost it, and you're like, thank God we have insurance. So then you call the insurance company and go, oh my gosh, I've lost my ring. Here's the appraisal. Here's the police report. And then you go buy your ring, and then all of a sudden you find the ring. What are you supposed to do? You've already bought the new ring. You see what I'm saying? It's just a mess. It's a mess. And I want to tell you this too. Next week, I'm having to do some hard things. Next week, I will be traveling to I can't talk, to attempt to have my brother sign paperwork to sell Larry's house. And my oldest brother is going to buy the house. So it's going to stay in the family. And that way I can take that money to help take care of Larry. But I had hired a caregiver. I hired a caregiver to come in for a day and a half to take care of Larry while I'm not here, because I can't leave him by himself. And so on Thursday, this new nurse came in, and I was making sure that I was telling everybody, that came in, the nurses and the bath ladies, that, hey, I won't be here on this day because I will be traveling. So I won't be here. There will be a caregiver here. So when you come in, don't be shocked when it's not me here and it's a caregiver. Well, the nurse went, why are you doing that? Well, I'm not going to leave someone that's bedridden here by themselves. And she said, well, Judy, you have respite care with hospice. I don't know what respite care is, right? So basically, when your loved one is on hospice is not here just for Larry. Hospice is wonderful. I don't know if y'all have ever dealt with hospice, but it is a lifesaver. If you have a loved one that needs caregiving and all that stuff, hospice has been wonderful to me. And they were like, Judy, respite is where you can take him, put him with 24-hour nursing care. So he would go to like a rehab, like a nursing rehab center for 5 days, and it costs you nothing. What? What? Nothing? And so Larry will be going. He did not like this. I'm going to tell you that right now. He was kind of ugly about it. But he will be going to the nursing home for a couple of days while I go handle this financial stuff that I need to handle for Larry. And when the nurse was talking about him going, Larry was over. Smoke was coming out of his ears. He was so mad. And I could sense, the nurse was talking in front of him, and I could sense he's about to blow a gasket. So I said in front of the nurse, I said, are you okay with this? If I have to go without my football, I'm not going to be happy. And I kind of, it kind of made me laugh in the beginning. But oftentimes being the best version of yourself, which is what we're all trying to seek, part of being the best version of yourself is to look at your ownership, but also get into the other person's shoes. So immediately I could feel the tension and the fear Larry was having. So after the nurse, the first reaction was I felt a little, I'm going to be honest, I felt a little mad at Larry. And the reason is because he has no idea what all I'm going through with this Toyota stuff, with my brother, with the selling of his house. It's enough to take care of someone physically, but along with taking care of him physically, I'm dealing with all the financial burdens that come along with someone declining and taking care of someone, making sure all their finances are paid, making sure their money is spent correctly. It's a lot of pressure because another thing that happens is once you reach a certain age and let's just say that you have to go to a nursing home. Well, when that happens and you've liquidated all your assets and Medicaid has to kick in, well, guess what? The caregiver or the person responsible for that person has to account with where every single dime has gone in the past, not 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, not 4 years, not 5 years, but 6 years, where every dime has gone for the past 6 years. Well, no one, no one, when I didn't handle his finances, I don't know. I don't know what he spent his money on 6 years ago. I have no clue, And so, like, the burden of having to account for all this is stressful. Having to make sure everything has receipts and has a paper trail because if the day comes and Larry does have to go back to the nursing home, Judy is responsible for everything. And if, let's just say, something happened with the car, let's just say, they're going to say, where did this $22,000 go? And I have to show that I paid off Larry's car. There's just a lot of stress, okay? So I felt a little frustrated when Larry was sitting there getting frustrated about having to go to the nursing home for 5 days. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, listen here. I went from we went from paying $700 for a caregiver to free. You go into 24-hour nursing care, it's free, but you sitting at home with a stranger that I don't know, which they have done a background check. I did go through an agency. It's going to cost us $700. Well, I have to account for all that. So I felt frustrated, but then I had to stop myself and say, Judy, stop. Be Larry for just a minute. Be Larry. He's scared. The only person he trusts is me. He just wants me to do everything. He don't want anybody else doing anything. He wants me to do it. And so he feels, scared. Is she going to leave me there? The fear of someone that's elderly going, my kids are just going to throw me in the nursing home. They ain't going to take care of me. They're going to take my money and run. Like you kid about stuff like that. But when it comes to the time where, oh my gosh, I'm bedridden, I'm now a burden, are they going to throw me in the nursing home? It's scary for Larry. It would be scary for me. When the time comes and my kids have to go, Mom, I have to work. You're going to have to go to the nursing home, Mom. I can't be wiping your butt. Mom, I can't do that. It's going to happen to me one day. And so I felt frustrated. But then when I was able to go, stop, Judy, for just a minute, a lot of this is overwhelming to him. I mean, he's He's already been in the nursing home for 3 months, so he knows that he's capable of doing that, and he feels scared that he's fixing to go here for 5 days and he ain't coming back. He's scared. So once I was able to get out of my shoes in the frustration and going, I am trying to do everything I can to make right decisions financially, physically, mentally for him. I'm trying to juggle working with Sneed's Farmhouse, being a wife, and trying to be a caregiver and a daughter all at the same time. Like, it's a lot. And so I stopped myself. I paused and I took a breath and I said, Larry, listen to me and listen to me good. I ain't going on vacation. I would love to tell you that I'm driving to the beach to go lay out in a string bikini and get tan. But I'm not going on vacation. I'm going to handle your finances. So I need you to work with me, and don't make me feel guilty for you going to the nursing home, because this is not costing us anything. And I need to save the money for when we do need it. Because there's going to come a day where you are going to need something. And I need to make sure I'm saving your money and not spending $700 for me to go handle your financial situations, because we're going backwards. And this hospice offers this benefit to you. And I held his hand. And I said, listen to me. You're going for a couple of days. That's it. You're not staying. You're going for a couple of days so that I don't have to worry about traveling to Gulf Shores, on top of going to court, on top of trying to get my brother to sign the paperwork, on trying to get your finances all in order. I'm doing this for you. I'm not going to lay on the beach. I'm not going on vacation. I'm going to be stressed out beyond belief. I'm going to say eye to eye with someone I have not seen in 7 years to try to get them to sign paperwork for you. Not for me, for you. And once I said that, he was okay. And he was like, oh, okay. I said, hold my hand. I'm coming back to get you. You're not staying here forever. But his biggest fear is to stay in the nursing home forever. But his fears put a lot of pressure on me. Because what happens is his fear of going to the nursing home makes me feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't do it, he's going to resent me the rest of his life. Oh my gosh, I've got to be able to juggle this all. I've got to be able to take care of him and the farm. And I can't get myself overwhelmed. He will hate me forever if I ever have to put him back in the nursing home. And I'm starting to be faced with things that are up close and personal. I'm having to get out of my comfort zone and do things that are very uncomfortable to take care of him. And I'm doing things that I never thought I would be able to do, because I'm trying my best to keep him here, because I want him to be happy. But in the long run, we all have to be happy. So putting pressure is hard on me, because when someone, please don't put me in the nursing home. Please don't put me in the nursing home. It puts pressure on me to go, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to be able to juggle all this. I can do this. Okay. But in my head, I'm going to need help at some point. And if I don't get his finances in a row, and when it comes to the day where, I do want to do a field trip let's just say, but I have to hire a caregiver when I do a field trip and there's no money there. Well, then I'm not going to be able to do a field trip, or I have to make a decision to put him in the nursing home. So I'm trying to make financial right decisions for him and I. So it's difficult. But I'm going to go into something that leads on to that, but get off the subject about Larry. So the holidays are coming up, and last year Larry had cancer. Larry was in radiation. Larry and I were driving to Birmingham on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, doing radiation treatment. So needless to say, I did not have a Christmas for my family, my kids, because Larry was his immune system was down from all the radiation and the treatment. And they said it was, I needed to keep him away from people while he was going through treatment. So I didn't want all the kids in the house with my grandkids in the house and someone have a snotty nose. And the next thing you know, Larry's getting respiratory and he's on oxygen and radiation and cancer. So I told the kids, I said, we're not going to be able to do Christmas this year because Papa has cancer. They were very understanding. This year's approaching, and I was talking to Shane about what to do for Christmas. And he said, we ain't giving our kids nothing. They don't give us nothing. And I started dying laughing. I was like, he was like, they don't care about us. They don't even come see us, Judy. And we kid about it because, and I'm sure many of you feel like this. When you start reaching a certain age and your kids don't come around a lot, you kind of feel like that. You're like, they don't care about us. They never call. The only reason they call is they want something. It's kind of like that. You feel like, and you're like, only reason they're coming around is because it's Christmas and we hand out Christmas gifts. That's the only reason they come around. And sometimes when you're my age and older, you start feeling like that. You feel like, well, the only reason they come around is because I'm handing out money, and it I don't know. It makes you feel like, do they care? And sure they care. They care, but let's stop for just a minute. Okay? For us, my age and older, our lives are slowing down. Okay? We're starting to enjoy peace. And we're starting to enjoy quietness. We don't like to be in the middle of a crowd. We don't like chaos because our lives, we're starting to go into the senior citizens age, and we're all about calm and slowing down. Okay? To a 20-year-old, we're quite boring. Right? We're quite boring. I mean, let's be honest. All we do is sit around and watch TV. That's what they probably think. Or mom never gets out of the house. They're right. Mom will freak out if we have a beer in the house. They're right. Mom, Mom gives us the ugly Christmas sweater every year. I don't want to go to Christmas. All she does, we've reached that age. Okay, let's just be honest. In our brains, we're like, you know, we don't even know what to get them for Christmas anymore because we don't even like to go shopping. You know what I'm saying? And we're just like, it feels stressful to us because we're like, I don't know what to get them. I mean, I don't know what to get them. Just tell me what to get you. You know, we're kind of pulling a Shane. You know, we're just like, what do you want? I'll just give you money. Just come over. I'll give you money because I don't know what to get you. You got everything. Just go get what you want. Just here's you $100. Go get what you want. It's kind of like we start reaching that point. And I know not every single one of us are the same. Okay. Not every one of us are the same, but there's a lot of people just like me. Okay. But if we stop for just a minute and tell me what you were doing when you were 20. Okay? What were you doing at 20? And then you're like, "Oh, my kids are fantastic compared to me in their age." Cuz when I was their age, let's see. My son's 26. I'd already been married twice. I was pregnant. Let's see, 26. No, I was pregnant at 27. I was pregnant. Really didn't even like my husband, to be honest with you. I just wanted to have a kid. I was broke as a joke. Broke as a joke. Uh, I remember me and my husband, we bought a house that was being built, but we were able to customize it because it was being built. So we thought we had died and gone to heaven because we had a new house, Judy's pregnant, all this stuff. I remember because it was a new house, there was no grass yet because it was freshly built. And so the builder just threw hay in the front yard. And I was like, we have no grass. And so I remember being their age, having no money. I remember calling a bank and getting a credit card. And I remember calling this sod place and putting, because you know how you like get checks when you get a credit card? I remember writing like, I don't know, let's just say $3,000. I wrote a $3,000 check to get sod delivered to have grass in my front yard. So I spent $3,000 of money that I didn't have. And I can remember just going, oh, we got a credit card. You know, oh, we can go get this for the new house. We can get this because we were fixing up our house. So that's what I was doing when I was their age. I couldn't afford a Christmas present because I was too busy buying sod on my credit card that ended up getting myself in total debt. I can remember calling my dad going, Dad, I'm in debt. What do I do? And he was like, Judy, you're bankrupt. And I was like, what is that? What does that mean? He's like, it means you need to call a lawyer because you're bankrupt. You can't afford your bills. I was like, what? What? You know, like that's what I was doing. So when you stop and quit getting your feelings hurt for like, let's just say your kid's not coming over to see you or your family not coming to see you, stop and go, okay, how old are they? Oh, they're 25. Okay, well, go back to when you were 25. What were you doing? Were you going to be? Were you ripped up excited about going to? To I mean, maybe when you were a kid, you're ripped up excited about going to Christmas, but like you start reaching the age where you no longer get presents because you're an adult, and then it's no fun. It's like I hate going just to eat. And nobody gives any gifts because if you think about it, we are so backwards. And my poor kids right now, this is what they're going through. Every single year, you know how us moms are. We're going to give a throwdown birthday party for our kids. I remember I had a petting zoo at my kid's birthday, and we went to Chuck E. Cheese for its birthday, and we invited everybody to the birthday party. And when everyone's invited, they get like 30 gifts for their birthday, and they're the center of attention. They get a special cake, they get a special hat. All their friends and family comes over and gives them gifts, and we do that every year for our children or our grandkids or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the kids get to they graduate high school. And then, there's money at graduation. Everybody gives them money for graduation. Then they go off to college, and everyone's so proud of them for going to college. And they get, gifts for the college graduation. And then all of a sudden, they become an adult. And my poor child, he had a birthday recently, and he was like, "Mother, no one did anything for my birthday but you." And I thought, well, it's because you're an adult. What does that mean? I mean, I'm still their kid. I'm still the grandkid. No one did anything for my birthday. And I'm like, dude, no one's done anything for my birthday for like 30 years. What are you talking about? Welcome to being an adult. You get nothing. You get nothing but a hard time and then one age older. It sucks being an adult. All you got, because in their head, they're like, oh, good, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to get a bunch of, because with my kids, because they had my family, they had my husband's family, they had their dad's family, they had their stepmom's family, there's a gazillion grandparents. So they, like, when Christmas came around, they got like almost $1,000 for Christmas because they had so many parents and grandparents, and so now that adulthood is hit, they're like, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing for my birthday. So then their age, they start getting offended by it. And they're like, don't nobody care about me. They didn't even, all they did was say happy birthday through a text. And I'm over here just kind of chuckling because I'm like, that's what you do to me. Mother's Day, you send me a happy Mother's Day. They did give me these overalls for my birthday this year. I have to say that. But like, I usually have one kid that tries to plan something with the other siblings and say, let's get mom this, but like, usually, happy Mother's Day. Thank you. But they're starting to feel what other adults feel because our moms are passed away, or we're now an adult and you don't get money, you don't get gifts, and it sucks because we as parents program them because every birthday is a celebration. Every single birthday. Growing up as kids, it's a celebration. Everyone's invited. We go out of our way to get them this special Barbie cake or whatever it is. Blue's Clues cake. We go out of our way. And then when they become an adult, it all goes away. And I get their pain. because I am almost 54 years old, and I tell y'all, I told this last year. Mom used to do stockings, and I gotta, you know how moms are. We still give our kids birthdays, and even though they're adults, moms are like that. Dads, not so much. Moms usually, I said, Vanson, you will get a birthday gift from me until the day I die. Because that's just who I am. So just know dads are not programmed like moms. I did this the other day because the lady told me to do it. It feels weird though. So, anyway, you know the saying that sometimes we do as adults, and we say, why should I do for this person because they don't ever come see me? They don't even hardly call me on my birthday. Why should I go out of my way for them because they don't go out of my way? They don't go out of the way for me. And the reason that came to me is because Shane said that to me. Shane said, Judy, our kids don't care two craps about us. They don't call. They don't call. They never come see us. They don't do nothing for our birthdays. We are dead air to them. They don't want to come to our house unless we're giving gifts. And I stopped for just a minute and I started going, why are they like that? Because you know me, I'm going to break something down. I'm like, he's probably right. You know, they probably want to come over here for Christmas because they want to get a Christmas gift. But why are they like that? What is my ownership in this? You know, I tell you, that's how you become the best version of yourself, is to look for within and go, what is my ownership? Even with they don't want to come to my house for Christmas. What is my ownership? Well, daggum. Judy had these elaborate birthday parties and Christmases or whatever, and I spoiled them rotten. It's it's all my fault. It's my fault. But when I was breaking the things down to try to figure out, like, what was I doing when I was their age? And I will tell you, while Jane Glasscock, which is my mother, was alive, it was almost, I mean, I would be 20 years old and it was like I was 6 years old. We would go over there for Christmas, and you cannot even imagine. We were grown adults with children, and there were presents like from one side of the house to the other side of the house. My mother was a big Christmas person. Therefore, we got a ton of gifts. Easter, I'm married. I'm living in my own house. And the Easter bunny is at the front door delivering an Easter basket to me at 20 something years old, married, moved out of the house. Larry and the Easter bunny was at the front door leaving the Easter basket outside my door. So we wonder why Judy is the way she is. Because I don't know any better, because that's how my mother was. And I can remember my husband going, your mother, it is 6:00 in the morning, and your mother is outside like the daggum Easter bunny ringing the doorbell and has left us Easter baskets out of the front door. And I'm like, that's my mom. That's my mom. And I told you, mom was always, I always got the girly girl stuff from my mother. And I guess that's why I'm a girly girl, is because I would get nail polish and perfume and jewelry in my Easter basket. I didn't get candy. There's no telling how much my mom spent on my Easter basket. But I sit here and think about, what if we had the mindset of, I ain't doing for them, they don't do for us. When they call and ask for a favor next time, I'm going to say no because they stood me up. They were supposed to come. I'm just giving an example. This didn't happen. But they were supposed to come put my animals back up because I had to go out of town, and they find some type of excuse to not come over here and help me with my peacock enclosure. So when they call for a favor, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that, and I'm not doing them a favor. And I sat and I broke it down. And I thought about it. And I'm like, that's not who I want to be. I don't want to personally be that person that doesn't do for other people because they don't do for me. That's not who I want to be. And I told Shane that. I said, that's not who we are, Shane. We don't do that. We don't not do for people because they don't do for us. That's not what Sneed's Farmhouse is all about. Now, when I was thinking about that, what time is it? I was thinking about that can sometimes get you in trouble because people could abuse you for being a good person. For example, one holiday, I saw this family. This family's never asked me for a dime, but I had this burning. I knew they were in hard times. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call and send them groceries for Memorial Day because I want to make sure they have food. And I want to make sure that and I did. I sent groceries to their house for Memorial Day. 5 a.m. And that opened up a can of worms. Because it didn't fix the problem. It just caused a problem. So sometimes when you go out of your way for someone, you're like, I don't want to be like them. Sometimes you can find that'll get you in trouble. So you have to be careful. But that's when you have to put a limitation on giving and know who you're giving to and the reason you're given. You have to give with a pure heart and not expect anything in return. So if I give to someone and expect this huge, elaborate thank you, which I'm bad about, I told you when I give a gift, I want people to do back handsprings in the front yard, right? And if they don't do backhands in the front yard, then I have my feelings hurt. So did I give for the right reason? I didn't. I think you just have to know your limitations with not being like them. But if you sit and go, I ain't giving them a Christmas present because those jokers hadn't given me a Christmas present or a birthday present in years. So why should I go out of my way for them when they don't go out of their way for me? And I'm going to tell you, because we're not like that. That's not the person we want to be. Just like the scripture, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Sometimes when you set an example of dancing and don't expect anything in return and give with a pure heart, when you walk away, the warm, fuzzy feeling inside is your reason for giving. But if you get your feelings hurt because your family doesn't come for Christmas or your kids never come around, just stop yourself and go, okay, how old are these jokers? Oh, they in their 20s? Oh, well, they ain't coming around. They ain't coming around. And you're like, well, I'm not giving them a Christmas present because they never come to see me. Well, is that really the person you want to be? Or are you going to hold a grudge against it? If you're 20 years old, you're realizing they're trying to figure out life, right? They're probably broke as a joke, okay? I mean, were you broke as a joke at 20? Yes. Could you afford Christmas presents? Probably not. Probably not. But think about the person that you want to be. And when you have that attitude and say, well, they don't do nothing for me, why should I do for them? And I'm going to tell you, that's wicked for you to say that. And the reason is because that's not who you are. That's not being the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself is not to be like that. Not to have that attitude this holiday season. And if you're the type of person like me that need people to do backflips in the front yard, watch what happens on December the 14th when the group home comes and opens their presents. Watch what happens. So if you're the type that needs that, give to somebody that does that. Hey, if you send me a present, I'm going to do a back handspring. I used to laugh because I get so ripped up excited because that's my love language, right? You know, it's my love language. You know, but it's not right to need someone to do backflips. What I feel is what I'm wanting my own self to be fed, and that's not the reason to give. I shouldn't give to people to want them to do backflips. That's not the right person to give. Like that, that's not right. I need to break it down and figure out what I'm trying to get from it, because that's not the purpose of giving. We don't want to be like that. Don't be like your Aunt Judy, okay? Don't do that. That's wicked, okay? Don't do that. All right, guys. It's 10 after 8. I have to go get, I keep calling her Lyndon Blake, and Lyndon Blake's on Fox 6. And it's not Lyndon Blake, it's Brenda LaDunn, okay? So I got to go get ready for her and go let animals out. Thank you for joining me this morning. So remember, in life, as the holiday season approaches, you have got to take care of yourself. During the holiday season, we start missing mama, missing the old times, missing being young at grandmother's house. Everyone's sitting around the table eating turkey and dressing, and nowadays nobody's like that, and you miss it. You miss it. So you're going to have to think about filling that void, because we miss our childhood growing up at grandmother's house, and she did it this way, and kids nowadays don't do it that way. You've got to fill your void. You have got to get out of your comfort zone and do something to fill the sadness that's inside you. Break it down. Go, where's the sadness coming from? Why do I feel empty every single Christmas? Figure it out and fix it. And fixing it is going, okay, first of all, I have to take care of myself. So I need to go buy myself a present this year and then go give back to someone else. It doesn't have to be a gift. It could be a card in the mail. I love getting cards in the mail. It could be a card in the mail. It could be taking your neighbor cookies. It could be going to visit the nursing home. It could be feeding the ducks at the park. Feeding an animal is, you would not believe what joy it is to go feed the ducks. Those ducks are so excited to see you. Go make a difference and don't sit it out this Christmas season. Go dance. Go figure out what shoes you need to pull out of the closet and get your butt out and dance. I will see you Monday. All right. See you later. Love y'all. Bye.